On me, and then we go on to Wayne. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to New Forest Morph Part 2. We're here with Spruce Wayne on Part 2 of his collection. And Adam, thank you very much for all your hard, diligent service tonight, doing all the work. So we welcome Spruce Wayne. Here he is. Welcome back, Wayne. We've had our little pee break and our lubrication break, haven't we? At least I gave you 10.
Indeed, yeah.
Let me get rid of this music for a second. Sorry. We've got rid of. I want to. Let's get it back. Come on. I want to see Wayne.
No, you're fine.
Come on, Wayne. I want to see you moving it. Come on. Let's see you move it. Come on.
I thought you wanted more subscribers, not fewer.
I'll tell you what. You were really moving it really well there, Wayne. So I'm going to have to challenge you to a dance off at some point, I think. Out of interest, do you have any musical talent or any? Are you quite theatrical? I mean, do you get out on the stage or do anything?
No. Between this, the kids, and the photography and work, no chance. So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you keep yourself busy with lots going on. But we were just having a little chat kind of between the breaks, weren't we? And we were talking about what we can do ourselves to improve our YouTube channel. We were discussing about thumbnails. Now, Wayne has been so busy today that he's not really had an opportunity. Actually, I'm going to try and... Adam's got you set up. I'm just going to try and get the camera a bit better set up. Adam's left me with a tripod here. I'm just going to see if I can get you perfect. Just bear with me a second.
No problem.
You can talk whatever you like. Please feel free to say...
you should play the interval music again.
Yeah, should we do the interval music? Of course. Let's get that one. Right, bit of dance. Wait, a bit of dancing when I get this. So that's lovely. That's it. Can I see a beautiful?
This is my favourite snake.
Love it. Okay. Of course, I'm making an absolute pig's ear of this. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Right, we've got everything lined up now, Wayne. Sorry about that. Sorry about the technical hitch up.
That's all right.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to remind myself how much time we've got. But what were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about thumbnails and...
Thumbnails. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you wear makeup or you? Sorry. You were talking about thumbnails. Come on. Don't let your wife see this one. She might think you're having an affair with me or something. But now what was I going to say? I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think on my feet here. Yeah, the thumbnails. We're talking about YouTube thumbnails, aren't we? We're not talking about our thumbnails. Although I think we should both put our thumbnails out for the camera. There's mine. There you go. Thumbs up. Can't get my thumbnail in the picture. There we go. There's mine. So we were talking about Jared's input on the channel and like how he's warming to the channel and he's starting to really blossom on the channel. We work together during the day, so the YouTube channel is a welcome break from the monotony of tax returns because I don't know about you, but probably everyone realises that tax returns have got to be in by the end of the month.
Yeah, it's a big season, isn't it, for you? So.
Yeah, but do you know what? This YouTube channel has lifted me. I get up at 6 in the morning because I have to do all the research to kind of respond to a lot of these. So I find myself getting up at 6 and I start doing all my research so we're ready for the shoot. But I also do a couple of hours of business work so that I can actually afford to take 2 hours off my business day to be able to provide content. But it's so good for my soul, Wayne. I mean, it's healing me. I mean, let me give you a bit about my background because I've got a spiritual background and I'm used to going out in the community helping people. And I'm a frustrated individual that can't really do what I'm used to doing. So the idea of launching this YouTube channel gives me an opportunity to serve and love people. And Manny can see a huge difference in me since I've been doing this because she said you feel so much more lifted. And it's all about giving. What lifts us is giving. And actually coming out of ourselves and helping others because we lose ourselves in the service of others. Really.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that one? Yeah.
Well, I agree. I think, and that's why I try to be active on some of the forums and get involved in the YouTube channel and commenting because, I think it's nice to be able to share your knowledge. I also think it's nice to try not to be too judgmental with it. I mean, it's very difficult because as a human being, there is a natural tendency to judge in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's but I try not to, and try to always be open and honest with my feedback, and it's only based on my experiences of what I've seen and what I've learn from other people. It's not saying that's categorical. And I think the more we can do that, and the more we can engage with each other, especially at this time when actually being face to face is difficult. It's great to be able to do that, and I think it's a really good way to keep in touch with a big community like this. So
no, I totally agree with that one, and I think it's fantastic that we can use media to be able to connect. Like, for example, if I wanted to come and see your collection, I wouldn't be able to do that now.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And now I can. I mean, I'm not touching the snakes, which is really good for hygiene anyway. But I'm getting the experience of being with you, enjoying your collection.
Yeah, I can see, you can see a little bit more.
Yes, please. Yeah, please. It'd be lovely. So you've got very similar rubs to us, actually. Are you using the really useful boxes there?
Yes, I've got at the top there. I've got the. I think the 5 litre ones, which have got my hatchlings in. Then I've got the 12 litres all across here, apart from 2 there, which are 24.5 litre ones.
Yeah.
And then down the bottom here, you can see there's 33 litres. And then I've got a similar sort of setup here, which is a rack which, frustratingly, I've not managed to complete yet because the world seems to have run out of heat mats. So I'm waiting on a whole bunch of heat mats to come, so I can actually properly set up the bottom area. It's all ready, it's all routed in and everything. I just need the heat mats. I've got thermostats.
What size do you need? Because I've got my old racking system I'm using as my hospital and my quarantine. I've got some spare mats if you need any.
Yeah, so I use the 35-inch by 11-inch heat mats because I like to give a good sort of 40% sort of coverage of the 33 litre tubs, and that gives me that really.
If you would be kind, Wayne, to just send Jared a message on IG.
Sure.
Let me know what you're looking for. We'll dig out what we've got, because these are virtually brand new. I had them literally 6 months, and we can disinfect them and make sure they're all good. But we'll send you if we've got some. We'll send you a couple up to get you going, because I know the feeling when you're waiting and you've got things happening. There's nothing worse than actually,
yeah, because I've got a couple of that I really want to move up to the next size tub, but now, I mean, I can use. I've got some spare 6-inch wide strips, but they're not really ideal for it. But I could use those in an emergency sort of thing, and I might well do that anyway, just because there's a couple there which I really would like to move up quite quickly because they're now quite a good size. So,
okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. If we can help you in any way, Wayne, we will do that. And if we can't, we can't. But we've got my old racking system is very similar to yours. Now, what have you used for your racking system there? Because I recognise that.
It's all MDF. So I've, just either get it from B&Q or this one I actually got sent to be cut because for some reason B&Q at the moment you can only have 4 cuts per customer.
I know, it's so frustrating. I've been there when we built our own racks. When we had the same problem.
Yeah.
Jared loves to build stuff. He's a builder. He's not a builder, but he just loves to construct stuff and build stuff. I mean, he built most of the facility with the help of some friends and family. He built that facility, and he's not a qualified carpenter. He just gets on with it and does it.
Yeah. And I think I enjoyed it. To be fair, I enjoyed the process of building. It's a bit like anything where it's sort of vaguely sort of in the arts area. That idea of creating something new. And so I've built this side here, which I just sort of panned around to show a little bit. This is kind of my cleaning and feeding area. So it's kind of, but I've also got some space down below here, which I can put in another 20. Either 33 or 50 litre tubs.
Very nice.
Not that I expand to that, but it gives me the option.
Absolutely. No, it looks like a really nice setup, Wayne. I'm really impressed with what you're doing there because, like you say, it's in the hobby. There's a balance between following your passion and following your projects, and actually working within the parameters of what you've got. And it is a fine balance, and it's so easy. You know what it's like. You get a couple of females that give you a few extra babies. You've got to make that decision to let go of certain snakes that you'd rather hold on to, but you have to let go because you just don't have any further capacity, which is fine. It gives someone else an opportunity to pick up some nice genes, but that's a very fine balance, isn't it? Getting that right.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, and I think I got into that trouble last time round, that I had over 150 leopard geckos, about 25 other different geckos, and over 30 snakes, and that's before having any babies.
Wow.
So
have you still kept the geckos? Have you still kept the geckos, Wayne, or have you kind of?
No, because I was going to emigrate to America at one stage, so I ended up selling my collection, and then right at the last minute, about 3 weeks after I sold my collection, the move fell through.
Oh.
Okay. And then we decided to have a child instead, and so that kind of took care of that for a couple of years. So we raised that hatchling.
So have you got a boy or girl, or what's your?
2 girls now.
Two girls,
yes,
lovely.
We decided one wasn't enough.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, are they showing an interest in the snakes at all, or?
Yes, and that's why half of my collection pretty much is named after Disney princesses and Disney. So I've got Mulan, Sven, Elsa, Alpha, Anna. You name it. I've probably got a Disney character.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. And that's all Disney characters. So you've got a very colourful collection there, and your girls must just love it. I bet you they're in heaven.
Yeah, they do, to be fair, and they love to be able to help out with handling. They don't help out with the cleaning so much. That's not the fun side they like.
That sounds a bit like my Emily.
yeah. So it's good though, because I mean, if I do need them to handle one, just to give the animals some socialisation whilst I'm actually cleaning out their tub, then they'll quite happily sit there and talk to me and look after the snake. So it's good. Yeah. So yeah.
I think that's important. I've kind of. What I've done is I've taken, with Emily, when she got into the snakes a couple of years ago, she's the one that actually got Kylo, he was from a reptile shop and he was quite pistolly, but you see him now, when I bring him out, he's so adorable and lovable, and she's the one that's done that. She's the one that spent the time,
Yes.
Yeah.
No, don't play that. That's on the band. That's on the band.
So what are you allowed to share the names of your daughters with us? Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zara and Holly. So
Zara and Holly.
10 and 7. So.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful, and I want to say hello to your daughters and welcome them to New Forest Morphs, and feel free to.
They get a real buzz when they hear that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Please do, and they probably want me to play a bit more music. I'm not sure whether they're.
No.
No. Are you sure? Don't listen to Dad. You enjoy yourselves.
I think for any parent out there that's probably had, 4 years of Frozen within them, you need a Frozen 2.
Oh, love the banter. I think it's great. And I think it's great that this is where the future is. And that moves us nicely on to a really important question, is about your feelings on the future of our hobby. Now, the future is our children, isn't it, Wayne? I mean, I've got Jared, who will be taking over both my businesses when they're mature and ready to go. Now, your daughters are showing an interest. I'm hoping that the next generation will embrace the foundation, what we're laying, because we're only scratching the surface, aren't we? I mean, what's your take on where everything's going to go?
I think it's always had quite a tricky position in the UK, especially because 20 years ago there were quite a lot of antis and protesters around this hobby. So it's been kind of stifled somewhat by that part of the population, really, and some reason to that, but some not, because I think they judge the actions of a few and kind of then place a stereotype on all reptile hobbyists, which I think was absolutely flawed in that regard. And I think for me, I just hope that we start to see a little bit more openness and willingness of local authority and others to see that actually, take a leaf out of Doncaster's book and actually see that, just like any pet keeping hobby, there are good people and there are bad people, but the majority in there are well-meaning and well-intended. And I think embracing technology like we are doing tonight, I think using various media is just a great way of opening up that community. And you don't see that in other hobbies, to be fair. In a lot of other hobbies, you don't see that in, if you like, the normal pet trade as such. You don't see many well, maybe I just haven't looked for them, but I've not seen many dog keeping channels which talk so avidly about different types of dogs. Maybe it's just I'm not enough of a dog enthusiast, but I don't see it as much in some hobbies, and I think this is a great way forward, and hopefully it'll just go on and grow from there. And I'd like to see more shows and that sort of thing, and I would love to go to Houghton or to Ham in the future. That's a real aspiration for me.
Perhaps we could do that together, because Jared wants to go. Maybe we should take a few of us together from the community that we're building, and really have a great time. I mean, book in a hotel and have a lovely meal together, enjoy the snakes, and make it a really nice outing together.
Yeah, they can be really good.
No, I'd love to do that and treat you to a meal. We want to send you some goodies, because you've been so good, Wayne, and you've been like, honestly, you're a shining light in our channel, and one of our shining lights. And I really want to thank you for giving up your evening tonight and sharing your passion with us. And we've got time to see some more snakes, because there's another 10 minutes yet. Right. So we're not wrapping up. Unless you want to wrap up, I don't want to take all your time. You've got a family. And
no, it's fine.
No.
Perhaps talk about one that we talked about, whether we want to talk about projects and things. So one of the projects I'm really keen on in the next couple of years is I like the highway, if you like, pattern morphs. And
amen. Amen on that one. That needs some music.
One for me that I'm really keen on.
Fighting talk.
So I'm just going to show you something on World of Warcraft, just to give you a picture of what I'm shooting for with this when I eventually get to it. Is that one?
Oh my goodness!
Which is a gravel super pastel yellow belly. So effectively a super pastel highway. And I've now got kind of the ingredients in my collection, but they need to grow up a little bit. So one of the ingredients is my little girl Amiga. And that's from the cartoon Alpha and Omega.
Be careful! You might get another song coming. Oh my word! What a beautiful animal! Oh my goodness!
She is a pastel super gravel.
Gorgeous.
And to me, I love the kind of the vibrance. I mean, she's possibly about to go into shed. She just had quite a big meal the other day, so she's quite chunky at the moment. But she is lovely, and I got her from Christian Davidson at what's he called? Dorset Pythons.
He's down the road. He's down the road from us.
Yeah, and he's got some brilliant snakes. And I just, I've not been there to his facility, obviously, but she's beautiful. So
is he connected to? Out of interest, is he connected to Dave? Dave at I've forgotten his surname. And we bought the dreamsicles from Dave earlier in the year, and I think he's connected with Dorset's Pythons. They've got they've got something going on. Dave, I can't remember his surname now, but he sold me the dreamsicle pair.
I'm not sure. And the male, got the male as well.
Okay.
Which is just a pastel highway. So hopefully it's something like a 1 in 4 chance, I think, of hitting the super pastel highway with those two. So
wow.
There's a little male, boy.
Gorgeous. So I love the highway project. Because we're shooting for a pastel highways is what we're shooting for, but to get a super pastel, Wayne, is that off the planet? Off the planet.
I just think the way it breaks up the highway pattern even more to make them almost like they're diamond shaped with the kind of the grey outline with the sort of dots in the middle, grey dots in the middle, but yellow sort of diamonds. I think if I can get anything close to that, it's just a project I want to do. I don't care if it's worth anything or not. To me, that is stunning.
Yeah, I totally agree, and Jad will feel the same way, because he's the one that got me into the pastel highway project. I've never seen a super pastel. Now we've got a super pastel ivory, and we've got that beautiful highway girl you may have seen in a couple of our films. We're putting those two together when they're ready. She's gone up to 1250. We've only had her 6 months.
Wow, yes. I mean, I must admit, I've got a pastel ivory girl as well, which is part of that project. Because with a lot of my projects, I do a 1 to 2, so in terms of ratio. So I make sure I get one boy at least that I like for that project. But then I think, well, if he doesn't go, who else could I pair him with? But then I make sure I get two girls that are perhaps slightly different that can contribute towards that project.
Yes.
So I've done that with the Xanthics as well. So I've got a pastel Xanthic girl who's a lovely little girl called Frost.
Is she able to come out? Can you bring her out for us?
Yeah, sure.
We do like the Xanthic, and the pastel Xanthics are to die for. They are gorgeous animals, beautiful animals.
She's looking ready to eat me, but.
Oh, I just love Wayne's collection. I mean, it's so beautiful. Look at that! What an absolute gorgeous girl. How big is she?
She's only about 250 grams.
And is that hatchling? Is that hatchling for you, or is that you bred that?
No, I bought her in. Actually, I don't know. You know Ridgeway pythons, who are obviously near you. Ridgeway Exotics.
Yeah.
The shop. They did it sounds awful. They did a Black Friday sale where all of their snakes at the time were half price for I think 4 days, and I saw this and I've been wanting a pastel Xanthic for a while, and I ended up buying I think 4 or 5 snakes that day.
Do you know what?
But it was great.
Yeah, I can't blame you when you pick up such a great deal. And Simon's lovely, isn't he? He ships us our rats. He does our racks. He does all the cold-blooded movements. He's so respected and so highly respected in the industry. Jared put him on to me.
He's a very hard-working guy.
And all,
so you've got to give him credit.
And all his staff, they're fantastic. So thank you for giving him a shout out. But wow.
Yeah.
So I know what that is. That's pinstripe.
So this is actually an Xanthic pinstripe. So
wow.
It looks like cracked earth more when you're close up to him. So and this is the male that she'll go to eventually.
Very nice.
Because I do like the VPI Xanthic line. I know they brown out slightly, and he's starting to a little bit, but I just
beautiful animal.
And he's my wife's favourite snake, so he's very active little boy.
Do you know it's very important to keep the bridge between your hobby and your wife, isn't it? You've got to keep her sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you shooting for on that project then? What are you hoping to what's you hoping to achieve there?
To be honest, to start off with, nothing amazing. Okay. I would love to get a pastel Xanthic pinstripe, because I think that would set that off the whole. I think the Xanthic pastel is lovely, but I love pinstripe. And pinstripe for me, it's another one of those genes which I think is underrated. And that's why I've got Samson up there, the banana we started off with. My other clown male I've got is also pinstripe. So it's a gene I love.
Yeah, I do too. We've got 2 pinstripes, and I had to convince Jared to get the pinstripes because he initially didn't like them. But I said to him, Jared, look at what you can do with them. Look beyond your basic morph. You've got to look and see the impact of how it mixes with others. And it produces beautiful gold undertones when you mix it in with the banana, like you just showed me, that banana pinstripe, Samson. I mean, honestly, what a stunning animal. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that there's an awful lot of mileage in the pinstripe that people underestimate in my book.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I've got, I think, about 7 pinstripes in my collection, I think.
Yeah.
So enough.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Wayne. We might have time to see another snake if you want to, but before we do that, I'm going to move on to a topic. Now, the next thing I was going to ask you is, what are the current topics and things, and where you see the industry going, and what do you think is the what's your feeling about where you think the future does lie in terms of, you see Justin Kobelka doing so many wonderful things, you see all the top breeders leading the way, but they're saying they're only scratching the surface. I mean, where do you see this going?
I mean, the thing is, I think it's very difficult when you start getting sort of 7 genes in a snake, or even, like Apollo, my 5 gene male.
Yes, yeah.
If you saw him, as you did, you can't really tell very easily what he's got in it until you've proven it out. So I think the trouble is that's going to become the most difficult thing. I've got a couple of 5 gene snakes down here that I bought on that day with Ridgeway, and I can tell you for absolute guarantee that they're pastel Mojave GHI pinstripe ghost. I couldn't tell you that for sure until you prove it out. But I think that's the exciting thing, is that I think we have got an awful lot of combinations. I mean, people are getting into GHI quite a lot at the moment. I think that's a brilliant thing. I love GHI.
Yeah.
I love the combination idea of GHI and black pastel together. I think, what I'd like to try and get GHI, blackhead, black pastel, and kind of keep loading on the dark genes in a sense, and see what how crazy it could get. Personally, I'm not a big pied fan, but I can see the beauty in them. I've got no pied in my collection whatsoever, but I am thinking about perhaps investing in a pied project, a 1.2, which I've been looking at. But I'm thinking, but it's not really the direction I want to go in. But that's the beauty of this, is there are so many permutations that I think it could go anywhere. And the craziness is, who knows what we'll produce? In 5 years' time. I mean, Justin Kabilka, the stuff he's done to go beyond not the magma, what's it they call it? All the different ones beyond Batman and stuff like that. That's taken some of those genes and got some crazy colours. I mean, I think to see a properly red royal python would be amazing, and I think it will come.
Yes.
Because things like red stripe, are they really red? Are they really? But I think we're just on the. I think in 5 years' time we'll see some stunning sort of red in not necessarily a deep sort of ruby red, but I think a real proper identifiable red, and I think that'll be amazing. So maybe it'll take longer.
I think it's a wonderful vision you have, and I think I feel the same way. I feel that we're scratching the surface of something here, because it's never, it's been this hobby has really taken off over the last 10 to 15 years, hasn't it? And you've been there from day one, and you've seen the progress. But from us coming in, we're super excited because, I've got my I like to study and do models and study what can be achieved, and there's an infinite number of combos, and every one of us can have our own unique animal. And that's what's so beautiful about the art, that each of us can have our own unique animal, and we can specialise in a particular project that no one else has, and produce a world's first.
Yes.
But
that's absolutely, yeah.
You tell me another hobby. Tell me another hobby, Wayne, where you could actually say that you've got the possibility of creating a world's first.
No, there aren't many. This is for that purpose, it's a really unique hobby. And I think my Apollo and my Enchilessa female, just between those two animals, there's 128 different combinations, and it's mind blowing. I mean, some of them are very subtly different, and of course, again, good luck trying to identify some of them. So I'm not looking forward to that. but it is a great part of the mystery of this, and I think that's brilliant, and be able to then have that journey of trying to prove out what you've got is fantastic. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is to start keeping some of the ones I've bred back, and just then having that opportunity to do that sort of alchemy on snakes, if you like. Not on the snakes, but with the snakes.
Well, Wayne, you've been fantastic. There is time for one more snake, and then we probably need to wrap up. We've got literally.
So what